Welcome to Unpopular Opinions, the podcast where we say things that people are afraid to say. Yes, I am Kabelo Khosana, your host, and welcome back to the second episode right here on wherever you're tuning from. Let's do this, man. We are going to jump right into it. As you may know, as you have noticed, today's topic or this week's topic is something that might ruffle some feathers. Obviously, this is unpopular opinions, real talk. That's the whole intention. Spark up a conversation, to spark up thought, to drive something or to spark something inside of you so that we can get a conversation going. How we change or we make our conditions better. So I live with a philosophy that something can be done about it. This is a philosophy that I live by. Something can always be done about it. And today's topic or this week's topic basically is, if you have seen it on LinkedIn, we are free, but we are not really free. So this is what we're going to be diving into. It's a little bit controversial, but it's not my intention. I don't intend to be controversial. I just want to spark up a conversation because of, like I said, these are my opinions and how I live life and my perspective of things. And want to correct me, or you think your opinion is the correct one, feel free to reach out and let me know. Like I said, this is a world of opinions and everyone lives by their opinions. And you want to be offended by an opinion, well, that's not the intention here to offend you, but it's to spark up a conversation that we can engage, become adults about this. You're a kid, maybe you can be matured about it. I don't even know what I'm saying, but anyway, you get my point. You get where I'm going with this. So yeah, man, we are free, but we're not really free. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about us. I'm talking about us as South Africans. If you're watching this from outside of South Africa, or you're not a South African, or you just came into South Africa and just got your residency, or whatever the case may be, this is directed to South Africans who have been here prior to 1994, and you know what I am talking about. I am talking about the illusion of freedom.
Good evening. For 27 years, 6 months and 6 days, he had been a prisoner. During that time, he became a legend, a symbol of black resistance to apartheid, and to many, he became a martyr. Tonight, he is a free man. Nelson Mandela, the leader of the African National Congress, he walked out of a prison on a gloriously sunny South African afternoon, and there is general agreement that his freedom begins a new era in South Africa. This is a special edition of Sunday Report. We're taking the time usually filled by venture to bring you comprehensive coverage of a truly extraordinary day. A day so many have waited for so long. The day Nelson Mandela was freed from prison. We start with the CBC's Jean-Francois Lepine.
There's Mr. Mandela, Mr. Nelson Mandela, a free man taking his first steps into a new South Africa.
Nelson Mandela emerged.
Let me start it like this. 1994, South Africa. This was the dream year where everybody hopes and dreams. You had to be there to know what I'm talking about. For those of you that do understand, 1994 ushered a whole new dream for a lot of us. When I say a lot of us, I mean, you know what I mean, Just a disclaimer as well, I consider myself non-racial. I am not racially bound. I do not see myself as black or white or anything. I do not see color. Back to the topic. 1994 ushered in a whole new dream. People had dreams. I remember my parents were very happy. Country was in a nostalgic moment, like there was a was a cloud. It was like a good cloud, not a dark cloud. Like there was a cloud of happiness and joy. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I was young, but I could still, I could understand and comprehend a lot of things. I am exposing my age, a millennial. So yeah, so yes, it was a nostalgic moment. People were happy that, oh my God, finally we're going to get what we deserve in our country, blah, 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 all these things. I remember my stepfather, he was an electrical engineer at that time. I was so happy. And he told me, he raised me. I remember he raised me up and told me, do you know what this means? I could just see the excitement in his eyes. What I mean? And I didn't fully understand, grasp the concept at that particular time. But now I understand, what he was hoping to happen. The truth is, that lasted for about 3 years maximum, or 4, 5, let's just say 5 for argument's sake, 5 years maximum. Because 1999, that's when reality started coming in, you know what I mean? I think Thabo Mbeki was the president that particular time. Thabo Mbeki came into power, and then he was, like, seeing the economy, whatever it is that he was doing as a president back then. I started hearing all these disappointments. Oh my God. Nobody had a disappointment or anything to say when Mandela was president, as I remember. Maybe there were people who were not satisfied, but as far as I remember, no. When Thabo Mbeki I was old enough to understand and to hear conversations. There were, little bit of bickery here and there, and the rand to the dollar was doing actually somewhat good. I remember there was a particular time where the rand to the dollar was 1.50. Can you believe it? Now, like in 19 rands or 18 rand. Back then was 1.50. The rand, the power of the rand to the dollar. For you who are 2000s and young and are tuning in, well, I'm sure you're not even interested. You don't even understand. But let me not say that. Maybe you are interested and you do understand. The power of the rand was that powerful. Can you imagine? So yeah, man. So let's be real. 1994 ushered in political freedom. What do I mean by that? Let's be real. Political freedom is important, but economic freedom was what is what the country needs at this particular moment. You know what I mean? Emotional freedom, or like people being able to live their best lives. If you are from South Africa and you came from the townships, as most black people do come from the townships, I come from a township myself because of that's just the situation, and you understand that the same conditions that were here prior 1994 still are in place till today, 2025. My story will come. If you want to know about me, let me know. I will give my story. I don't think I'm interesting, I don't think you are here because of you want to hear my story. I think you're here because of the topics that I share. But if you want to hear my story, let me know, and then we could engage on it. Like I said, 1994, a lot of people were sold the dream. There was a celebration, of course, all these nice things that came with it. People were allowed to go to white schools. People were allowed to own property because of prior. If you're watching this outside of South Africa, or if you are young and not understanding what was the law, there was this thing called apartheid.
Apartheid really began in 1948, but separating black Africans from the white minority had long been a policy aim. Laws made white people officially superior, and the large black majority faced discrimination in every aspect of their lives. Living, doing business or owning land in white areas was banned. There were separate public facilities, transport and schools. Interracial marriage was banned. Many had no right to citizenship and were regarded as aliens in major cities. Instead, they were made citizens of Bantustans, homelands scattered throughout South Africa. But resistance grew. In 1960, a huge peaceful protest against past laws ended in a massacre at Sharpeville. 69 people were killed. The deaths galvanized opposition, radicalizing liberation movements like the ANC.
I hate talking about this apartheid because of this word has been overused in our country. Like apartheid, everything is apartheid. Apartheid this, apartheid that. So yeah, but the matter of fact is that it happened. Of the history of South Africa, there was a thing called apartheid, which did not allow a certain group of people to own property, a certain group of people to live in a particular place in the country. So it was just restrictions based solely focused on a particular group. Like groups in South Africa were put in sections. Like you were purple, you were put in that corner. If you were green, you were put in that corner. If you were red, you were put somewhere. So that's how apartheid is. It's basically separation time. That's what apartheid means. It's separation time. I wanted to engage you on this, just to have a real talk with you. As we know that 1994, obviously, freedom was promised and whatever the CODESA negotiations and whatever that has happened. But if we look at the reality, are we where we are supposed to be as a country? Just don't feel that it is important at this particular time to go deep into the whys, because we know why. We have the whys. We know why we are in this state. We know the corruption that is happening in the government, politicians, what they're doing and whatnot. So are we really free? That's the question that I want you to ask yourself right now. Like, are you really, really free? Black, white, Indian, Asian. You really free in this country? Let's just take a moment and think about it. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And let's not confuse what freedom is. Freedom is not total chaos. You know what I mean? It's not, oh my God, yeah, I'm free to do whatever. No. Freedom, let's go to the core, the basics of what, and understand what freedom is. Life is a game. You know what I mean? Life is a game, and it consists obviously of barriers and freedoms, and then these are a balance. When you have total freedom, obviously there will be chaos. Or barriers, obviously there's a restriction. People go down and whatnot. So there's a balance. It's supposed to be a balance. Freedom and barriers. Obviously you cannot go murdering people, go stealing, taking things that do not belong to you. You know what I mean? Barriers. Those are the things that put order to a society and whatnot. All right, I digress. So, yeah, man. Tell me what you think of this podcast so far. This is Unpopular Opinions. Real talk. Don't forget to share this if you liked it. Depending where you are watching it from. Like, subscribe, whatever. Do whatever the platform says to do. All the good things. If you are watching this from Spotify, like it. I don't think Spotify has a like button, but share, do all these lovely things to support. If you think I'm on the right track, thank you very much. Support. Highly appreciated. And then share with your fellas, suggest, engage with me, man. Comment down. I know in every platform there's a comment section below or up on the side, wherever. Comment, engage with me. Let's engage. Let's get this cracking. And then so that we can see where we're going with this. I came here with the topic of 99, but as I'm talking about it right now, I actually got bored, honestly. It's a boring topic. I can't believe that I'm saying this, but it's a boring topic. Because we know what we know. And if you know, you know. We got to move on, and then there's only one way for us to move on. And we'll get to that. How do we move on? How do we move forward? But if you have any suggestions or any ideas, or you just want to comment on this, let us know. How would you move on from this situation? If you were the president for the day, or for the week, or for the month, How would you change the situation? And what would you do if you were in power today? What is it that you would do? Let us know. Don't forget we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on YouTube, we are on all the social platforms. Soon be on TikTok as well. I'm on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you can just search unpopular opinions, real talk, and you will see us. You'll find us. We are right there in your face. I've been Kabelo Khosana. Thank you very much for tuning in. Adios. So we'll see each other next week probably. I want to be consistent. And yeah, man. Let me know how you liked it.